Hey everybody, this is Alchemisted, and this is once again Star Trek Online, Rise of the Red Shirt. I'm just hanging out right here in Club 47. Was waiting for a friend, but it looks like he's not going to show this time. Oh well. So, last time we did Ground Zero. It was a fantastic mission for grinding remans. In fact, I even got the reman accolade my first time through recording. But I re-recorded it the second time, but I made sure to show you guys the trophy. This time we are going to do... What are we doing? Let's go check out the journal. Oh, that's right. Alright. Let's see. Yeah, yes. Journal. Let's see. Easy. Let's check out episodes. What do we got ourselves this time? By any means, Ground Zero, Ghost Ship. Oh, yes, Ghost Ship. I believe I talked at length about why I didn't like this mission beforehand, but to recap, essentially this mission consists of multiple transitions between space and ground with little reason between them. It's kind of like you beam down, you scan some stuff, you beam up, you fight some stuff, you beam down, you scan some stuff, you beam up, you fight some stuff, rinse, lather, repeat. And, it gets pretty tedious going through loading screens over and over and over and over again to maps you were just at to do something that feels completely arbitrary, but you're going to see what I mean. In fact, I believe I have Ghost Ship open right now, so I'm going to go ahead and drop that. I believe I was doing that one with a friend. Yeah, it's a secondary mission, so... That's too far. Too far. Okay. Ships are disappearing in Romulan space. Who or what is stalking the Great Bloom? That should be a clue that they said stalking. Stalking. Okay, replace mission or any completion rewards again. For almost 30 years, Starfleet has been studying an area in Romulan space known as the Basin Rift. The Romulans call it the Great Bloom. In 2379, the Rift was the site of a battle between the Romulan praetor Shinzon and the USS Enterprise E. In that battle, a large amount of Thalaron radiation was released. Shinzon's ship was destroyed when a Thalaron weapon he was attempting to use was destroyed by Commander Data of the Enterprise. Since then, we've been monitoring the spread of the Thalaron radiation in the area. Thalaron radiation is extremely dangerous, Admiral. It consumes organic material at the subatomic level. Should the radiation remaining in the rift drift towards inhabited worlds, the loss of life will be catastrophic. I need you to take the USS Woglinde to the Basin Rift. Take detailed scans of the gas formations and measure the rate of the spread of the Thalaron radiation. It would be wise to stay alert. Not only is the rift in Romulan space, but it is also known to disrupt subspace communications. If you encounter difficulty out there, Starfleet may not be able to help. So our next goal is the Basin Rift, which is in the Iota Pavonis sector block, I believe. And your rewards are a bunch of chronoton weapons, which frankly are kind of crap. It's all about the quantums, my friends, or at least it is to me. If you're really great at chronotons... Now, it wasn't always the case. Previously in the game, you could spec into a certain type of torpedo. Quantums, photons, chronotons, transphasics, what have you. But now it's just a flat bonus to every torpedo, and chronotons are kind of meh. They're really sort of better alternatives to chronotons out there, but if you love yourself some damn chronoton torpedoes, these got some this one, you've got one that can give you plus 40 critical severity, you got another one that's got plus 4 critical chance, and you got some mine launchers. You got a mine launcher that does twice as much damage. Well, not twice as much, but has a times 2 damage bonus, 2 damage modifiers. There we go. And a chronoton mine launcher that has plus 40 critical severity. I know somebody who was crazy for mines. Well, was, being the key word, in the early levels. They seem really useful in the early levels, and then you get higher and they're kind of eh. At least, I guess it depends on your I guess it depends on your play style, really. So we're going to go ahead and accept. Yeah. Sorry, buddy. I guess next time. Let's get out of here. Alright. So, I guess we're going to have to make it primary, because it never does. Let's see, second wave, Madonna. Neutral zone, Romulan front. Make primary. And it costs 12,000 to get there. We've arrived at the Basin Rift, Captain. Do you want to scan for Thalaron radiation now? I guess so. So, if anything, it's a very pretty looking map. Sort of. I guess we'll go here. Captain, I am measuring significant amounts of Thalaron radiation in this area. Our shield should protect us from its effects. However, I recommend that we do not stay in the area longer than necessary. We will need to scan more areas for Thalaron radiation to determine the rate of the spread. Alright. So you're seeing what I mean? I'm scanning, I'm flying around, I'm doing stuff, but it's gonna get pretty weird pretty quick with the map transitions. I said before, if you played a lot of Foundry missions, you're probably pretty familiar with people who don't quite have a mastery of how to handle map transitions or when to make map transitions. There are a lot of little workarounds people have made, like zoning with, to zone without zoning. A lot of people like to use moving at warp as its own sort of map transition. Despawning all of the materials in a map, spawning a warp, the warp environment effect around a ship, and having that ship be at warp for a while, and then spawning in all kinds of materials around. Like spawning in like all sort of stuff that makes it look like a new map, when it's really the same map, it's just with new objects in it to make it look different. That's a Foundry technique that seems to be gaining prevalence, and it can be handled badly, that's for certain. But all in all, the fewer map transitions you have to make, the better. We're picking up an automated distress signal, Captain. It's the USS Warwick. Plotting an intercept course, sir. We'll need to scan the hull before transporting an away team. The interior could be compromised. Alright. Scans show no sign of weapons fire, but engines are offline and life support is minimal. I'm not reading any life signs, sir. Records indicate that the Warwick was on a survey mission. There were 220 aboard at the time she disappeared, sir. Captain, we're being hailed by an unknown ship in close proximity. They're powering their weapons. The trap is sprung. You will make fine trophies. I guess we know what happened to the Warwick. Of course, it's not going to do him a damn bit of good, but... Yeah, your shield's already gone, buddy. I hate that subnucleonic beam. It doesn't really hurt me, it's just fucking annoying. In fact, I may switch my science officers. I have a science officer who I use when I'm fighting Breen, because I hate... The Breen aren't hard, but they are annoying. There we go. Joy. Come on. Okay, what are you? What are you? Another hunter escort. Alright, so while I have the chance, I'm going to switch to Doppler, who has polarized hull and science team. Now, I don't usually like using science team because it puts tactical and engineering team on cooldown. But you got to do what you got to do. I don't think so. So what subnucleonic beam does that's so irritating is it basically doubles the cooldown time of all of your abilities. It can be really, really, really annoying. The Breen love doing it all the time. Doppler is kind of my anti-Breen science officer. It's the subnucleonic beam and the damn tractor beams with the Breen. I hate their tractor beams. They love their tractor beams. Although, with antimatter spread, combine that with the point defense system, the tractor beams really aren't a problem. Sensors show no signs of corrosion reinforcements, Captain. It should be safe to beam aboard. Let's go ahead and beam down. And, we're going to leave Doppler on the ship for now. We're going to take Chawl with us. Now, I've taken Chawl once before, but I don't really think I've shown him off. See, sort of my whole idea for Chawl, we'll explain in a minute. And here's that song I was talking about last time that you could barely hear in the video, that all-male choir going nuts while nothing's going on. I hate this music a lot. Captain, we need to take biosamples from the crew of the Warwick. If we analyze them, we may gain some insight into what killed the crew. Sooner or later, I'm just gonna, like, keep the in-game music off and add my own soundtrack, but not right now. So, this is Chawl, and I've been wanting... And I had him in a mission before. I think it was Researcher Rescue, but I never really showed him off. You see, the thing about Chawl is, I always sort of envisioned Chawl as a melee... I'm sorry. I can't. This... Shut up for a minute. Blissful. Blissful. Wondrous. Okay. So, I kind of always imagined Chawl as a straight-up melee fighter, but the problem is melee combat doesn't really work with boffs. At all. You see, they won't use their damn melee weapons. They'll really just stand there doing nothing while you get your ass kicked. So it took me a while to sort of figure out how to get him to use his melee weapon, how to get him to do something, basically, you know, do something! Because he would just sort of stand there with Overwatch on and not do crap. So I eventually stumbled upon a way to sort of cajole his AI into actually fighting in close quarters, which is what I wanted him to do. That's how I envisioned his character. And I had this nanopulse batleth, as you can see him holding. With the blade isn't on, but you'll probably see it before this mission's over. I had this nanopulse batleth from the holiday promotion last December. I kind of had to cajole his AI into actually melee fighting because he wouldn't melee at all. So what I ended up having to do was give him 3 versions of lunge and 1 sweeping strikes, which he uses more than his melee weapon, unfortunately, but there's no real good ensign ability that's close in. I don't know. I might have to take another look just to be sure, but there aren't many. at all. So I had to give him 3 copies of Lunge, and suddenly Chal is a badass. He's taken on entire enemy groups alone, you know, unassisted. So, yeah. So now I've finally got him to work. Unfortunately, it also cripples his ranged combat, which I wish they would fix. I wish they would fix that. I wish they would make it so that if a bridge officer has a melee weapon, they will use that melee weapon as often as they would use a ranged weapon. But sadly that isn't the case, and I had to cripple his long-range capabilities just to get him to use the weapon he has equipped. I don't like having to do that at all. Not at all. But he's a badass now. And, yeah. So, I'm going to turn the music back up now. I'm really going to regret it, because I really don't like this track. Let's get started. God, I hate the music in this area. I can't. Maybe. It's so bad. There. I'll turn. I'm not turning it all the way up. I'm not turning it to 50 because I hate the music. All right. So we need to scan the crew of the USS Warwick. There are so many different music. I could probably find better music on a stock music site. I don't mean that. I don't mean that to you know, I don't mean that as a slight, you know, to the developers. Not at all. But what I'm saying is, for this moment, right now, in game, I could probably find more appropriate music to be playing right now on like some royalty-free music site, and it would fit the situation perfectly. Because this, really, it's too fast-paced, it's too bombastic. I know I'm being a snob. I know I'm being nitpicky about this, but still, this music gets old. Anyways, let's scan this crewman. Alright. Use my tactical initiative. Get everyone to pet they tribbles. Bye-bye, RE power play. What goodies lie in here? A hypo and chocolate. Nah. Scan crate. I can't do that yet. Well, can I do that? Let's find out. The USS Warwick is a science vessel. These crates contain highly sensitive scanners used for cataloging temporal anomalies. However, after all of the fighting that has occurred in their proximity, they are most likely unusable until they have been recalibrated. Well, crap. So, there is also another reason why I have brought Chal, why I will be bringing Chal on this mission. But we'll get to that. Also, these crewmen, they will magically change form the next time we beam on here. They will be completely different character models. They are random NPCs. You'll see. Make note of what they look like, because they will be completely different when we get back in here. It's the same thing that used to happen to the USS Kirk. The USS Kirk kept on magically changing form between a star cruiser, a normal cruiser, a heavy cruiser. It was At a Sol cruiser, it was unreal. Sir, something has completely drained the neural energy from these people. It's like something sucked the life right out of them. Captain, we've seen injuries like this before, but I think we should look for more information to be sure. We should go to main engineering and attempt to restore power to the ship's computer. The information we need should be in the logs. I really hope this music isn't here when I come back here. I really, really hope so. I know I'm not. Oh, by the way, completely different MSD in engineering. It's cool looking, but yeah. I know. I'm not letting go of this, but yes, this track in particular gets on my nerves. It's just yeah. Anyways, I will poke my hand into that console, and 8 will pop up and say, "There's no damage to the warp core, sir. It looks like someone rerouted all power from propulsion, weapons, sensors. Like they were throwing a lot of energy into something." I said like. She didn't say that, I did. Oops. Chief Engineer's log, supplemental. We've been unable to block the triolic waves bombarding the ship or determine their source. The effect, though, is deadly. There have been 20 casualties already, and the sickbay can't keep up with newly reported cases. Captain Hughes has ordered us to reroute all remaining power to the communications arrays. We have to try to get a distress signal out. Oh, hi! You see that nanopulse batleth in action? I love me my nanopulse weapons. Captain, the Hirogen Romulans are mounting a counterattack. The transporter room is prepared to energize in your command, sir. I should probably start a loading screen ticker. I believe we're in loading screen number 2. Right? This is going to be loading screen number 2, beaming up to the Woglinde? The second loading screen in the same mission? Right. Ding! 2. Nadmo's going to stay behind, patrol the area, make sure nobody boards the ship. Captain, sensors show several squadrons of Hirogen ships. They appear to be searching the wreckage. It's only a matter of time before they find us, sir. We should take the initiative. It won't be safe to beam down to the Warwick until we've dealt with the Hirogen. You know, Nell is a capable Starfleet commander. I'm sure she could have handled this without me beaming up to the ship. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. No. Thank you. Next. Who else wants a butt kicking? Let's see.
Target shields have failed.
Die.
Target shields have failed.
See, I like this music. This music is good. Sure, it's bombastic, but it's also very heroic, which I think fits, you know, fighting a sudden ambush of Hirogen ships. And then it returns to simply being atmospheric. And there's some cool music now, too. I think I'll shut up and let you guys listen to it.
Shields failing. Target shields have failed. Right shields failing.
Oh. This. It's like it knows how to just push my buttons. It knows me. Get rid of this music as quick as possible.
Warning. Ship is under attack.
Battle music. Thank you. For a moment I wasn't sure if it was actually going to transition to different music or not.
Target shields have failed.
So like I said, they like to use subnucleonic beam, which is annoying, but there is a way to get rid of it. And that is to use Science Team, which is why I equip Doppler whenever I fight Breen, because he has Science Team. Captain, the Hirogen are attacking the Warwick. We've got to defend the ship so we can complete our investigation into what killed the crew. Well, the Breen are dicks, aren't they? Why am I saying Breen? Hirogen. Ah, my mind! Where is my mind going? Come on. I believe the Apex battleship also has its own brand of nastiness, which is easily overcome by doing this. You see, all of your support ships will still continue to target the Hirogen vessel. And will fire on it independently, unless we're talking about the saucer, which just did nothing. But if I launched a swarm of Peregrine fighters, they would still be able to target the Apex battleship and take it down. Now, I also believe that jam sensors thing they used on me, that dag-nabbit thing, I don't even know where I'm going with that, can also be removed with Science Team. Not yet, Hunter. I didn't use it because I'm stingy like that. But usually, this, if you have MVAM or a retrofit or an Odyssey TAC or an Odyssey Engineer, or not, it's not called Engineer, it's called Operations Cruiser. But if you have one of those, usually your separated ships will continue to attack. Or any phaser beam turrets you have, or any fighter craft you may have on you, will continue to attack. So you may be blinded, but your support craft aren't. And that's very nice. I'm going to get this just because I can. Because I've gone mad with power. And again, we have some nice atmospheric music. Nothing too bombastic. There's no all-male choir losing its mind. It's still kind of generic, but you know what? Anything's better than that. And that turret helps guide me to the Warwick too, which is nice. That was damn nice of it. There we go. I don't know why I'm reversing towards it, but nonetheless I am doing so. For some reason, reversing drains your energy. And I find this extremely curious, since in space travel it takes the same amount of force and time to slow you down or stop you as it takes to accelerate you. So why would it suddenly drain your energy more to go in reverse, instead of going forward? I don't quite get that. Nevertheless, we're beaming back down. Oh, wait. Sensors show no more Hirogen ships in the system. It should be safe to beam aboard the Warwick now, but we should hurry. The Hirogen aren't going to just give up. Alright. We're going to take Chal again. Again, there is a reason for this that will become apparent when we beam down and when we deal with the enemy, whom, by this point, if you've been paying attention to the game or Rise of the Red Shirt, you already know who we're going to be dealing with. Or you could just listen. Captain, I'm certain now. The Warwick was attacked by Davidians. They might still be here, sir. I recommend we create a contained subspace field to reveal any that remain. To create the field, we will need to collect components from throughout the ship. Now, the reason why I have brought Chal that I've been alluding to this whole time is because, as I learned in the rerun of the Davidian featured episode series, now called The Spectres, and this guy has remained the same, that has now been called Spectres. It originally didn't have a name, like Cloaked Intentions of the 2800 did. And you have changed. You may have stayed the same. I found out that nanopulse weapons ruined the Davidians' crap. They absolutely destroy them. So if you have nanopulse weapons and you're playing the Davidian featured episode series or this mission, nanopulse weapons are the way to go. Especially since they did nerf the Davidians a little bit. The Davidians used to be crazy powerful, and this mission used to be your first introduction to them. You are a different person now, I think. There's also no, or at least I don't think there is. No, there's no indicator telling you where to go. Fortunately, these are lit up. And if you're strapped for items, you can always investigate these every time you come down to the ship, which will be multiple times. So we're at we are at 3 map transitions in this, we're at 3 map transitions in this mission, in this one mission already, between the same 2 maps. Yeah. So let's see. Could have sworn, I guess it was my imagination. Could have sworn there was something back here. Okay. Must be coming from over there. Let's see. And I do believe you may be a different person as well. We have all the components we need, Captain. The best area to create the subspace field would be main engineering. We should return there. The Davidians live slightly out of phase with our reality. They cross over to feed, but the rest of the time they're invisible. They could be surrounding us right now and we wouldn't even know. I know that we try to have peaceful interactions with other species, sir, but the Davidians use the Warwick's crew as food. We have to stop them. I really wish, and this is just me off on a tangent, as opposed to the usual tangents I'm off to. I really wish that they would have referenced the Neutral Zone series. Just like a passing reference, like, oh, these are the same guys we fought, you know, back then. You know, if they were going to go through and start rewriting missions into one long story structure, I really wish they had kind of done that. Construct a force field and engineering. And it really seems that, okay, so they do kind of give you a little bit of an idea where to put these. 1. 2. 3. 4. Captain, the Davidians are gone, but the portals they used to come aboard are still open. Our phasers should be able to destabilize their phase integrity. Recommend we close the portals quickly before they return. Destroy the subspace wormholes. So now we get to play in Weirdo Vision. Nell, the Davidians are still here. Why were you saying they were gone? Shell is busy with the portal. That's okay, I got this. Now, the first time I played through this, and you're seeing it just, well, there are other weapons, so you're not getting a straight-up example of how much these nanopulse weapons destroy them, but they really do quite a bit of damage to Davidians. They also look really cool in this lighting. But I remember the first time I played, the Davidians used to be damage sponges. I mean, really, really, really bad damage sponges. They would never go down. You could concentrate everything you had and they would take forever. Even the basic ones would take way too long to go down. Now, I'm not using many buffs right now. Some people might criticize me on that, but these guys really aren't that much of a threat. Kana. Let's see. Can't effing see. Let's see. Umbral. Well, I'm gonna go after you. Because you're standing here. Draining people. We can't have that. Again, there's no real reason for me to fire off any buffs because we're not fighting. Like, if Phantasm shows up, then I'm going to start firing off buffs. You better believe it. But for now, they're really not a threat. And and as I said before with Science Team, I'm pretty stingy with buffs. You know, I'm pretty stingy. I won't fire them off unless I need to. Did he just kick the portal over there? Holy shit, Shaw. Whoa. He kicked the portal so hard he moved it. Okay, so map transition number 4. Same 2 maps. Captain, we've managed to locate several ship-sized anomalies which are radiating triolic radiation. We bombarded them with ionizing radiation in order to make them visible. They seem very similar to the small anomalies you destroyed on the Warwick. If we destroy these large anomalies, we can secure the area against further predation from the Davidians. Alright? I'm getting tongue-tied. Captain, the ionizing radiation has made all of the portals visible. Our weapons should add enough energy to push them totally out of phase with our universe. Totally? Sir, we're being hailed by a Romulan vessel. Starfleet ship. You are trespassing within a restricted area of Romulan space. We have several subspace communications linking you to the disappearance of Herosian squadrons conducting peaceful research in this vicinity. Prepare to pay for your crimes. Peaceful research. My ass.
Warning. Ship is under attack.
No.
Target shield has failed.
Okay, so I'm going to switch back to Lima because she's the one with hazard emitters, and plasma fire, while pretty much harmless to me, is really annoying nonetheless. So we're at 4 map transitions now, am I right? I think so. We're at 4. Again, between the same 2 maps.
Target shield has failed.
No, not the portal, the bird of prey. I can't help but feel that this is the Star Trek Voyager school of thought. Let's close the portal by shooting it. I know that's how they did it on TNG. But then again, that portal was in a cavern under the surface of a planet. And they fired a spread of torpedoes at it. Torpedoes that I believe were specifically calibrated to harm the Davidians in their own plane of reality. So, yeah. Maybe they've done something similar on the ship here? I don't know. It just kind of strikes me as odd.
Warning. Ship is under attack.
Well, that could have gone better. Never mind. No.
Target shield has failed.
Okay. 2 down, 2 to go. Oh, 51 minutes. This is going to be a long one.
Warning. Ship is under attack.
Nay.
Target shields have failed.
You gonna fire a plasma torpedo at me or what?
That's shield failing.
Okay. You want to tailgate me? Tailgate me. Bye-bye.
Target shields have failed.
It's targeting me. Oh, I'm so scared. What's he gonna do? Shine on me? What is it you got? Oh, a bird of prey. Let's get this over with quickly.
Warning. Ship is under attack. Target shields have failed.
Yes, that plasma torpedo just erupted into a lockbox. Because that makes sense.
Target shields have failed.
There we go. All portals deaded. That's the last of the portals, Captain. The Davidians should be cut off from the system entirely. Good riddance. Captain, we're picking up some strange readings near the Warwick. There's something very big over there. So 4 map transitions, right? I'll look at the footage. I think we're at 4 so far. I'm unsure if there's another one. There may be. It's a Dederidex battleship. It won't last very long.
Warning. Ship is under attack. Target shields have failed.
Yes. He's going to fire a bunch of plasma torpedoes at me, but I know his tricks. Okay, that was the last map transition. So let's see if the end has been rewritten. What the? Sensors indicate the energy has been... Sensors indicate the energy has been entirely dissipated, Captain. Could that ship have been Davidian? Okay. So they have rewritten the mission. They have rewritten the end. The way this mission originally ended, that ship left. That ship escaped, and then later on in the featured episode series, you ran into them in the neutral zone. Since that series now takes place before this mission, the end has been rewritten so that the Davidians on that ship were dead. It was implied beforehand that the Davidians you were encountering in the neutral zone were the same group that you fought here, and I liked that. But now that the neutral zone series is before this one, that plot tie has been kind of cut off. I'm a little saddened by that. It was a nice little bit of continuity in the game. It was a nice little bit of foreshadowing that you were gonna run into these guys again, and it was gonna be bad when you did. That kind of sucks. It's still, I don't know. I know they had to rewrite the end of the mission somehow, because the event that this mission was foreshadowing now takes place before it. But I'd hate to see this as the last of the Davidians. You only ever saw them once on television. They were only in one two-parter of TNG, and then you never heard from them again. But they were an interesting enemy. They weren't doing what they were doing out of malice or spite or a need for conquest. They were doing what they were doing, as evil as it was what they were doing, as evil a thing it was. They weren't doing it for evil reasons. They were doing it to live. It's how they survive. You know, they weren't inherently evil. It's just how they survive to us is horrifying. You know, they require, we consider it murder. You know, but to them it's just feeding. You know, it's not out of malice that they're doing it, or at least not from what I remember. I'll have to watch that episode again. It was called Time's Arrow, and I'm unsure what season. It was a season ender and a season opener. I'm unsure which seasons it were. It was either 5 and 6 or 6 and 7 that had the first and second part of Time's Arrow. It's a really good episode. So if you got Netflix, or if you got some DVDs, or I don't know where else, maybe it's on Hulu or something, go ahead and check it out. It's a really good episode. But yeah, that's it. What was the final total? 4 map transitions between the same 2 maps over and over again? Jeez. Depart system. And again, it's a nice looking map, at least. It is a nice looking map, and map transitions aside, it's a fun mission. I don't know if they've changed this mission, though, because I've never played this mission since the first time I went through it. So I don't know if it's been changed, because I felt like there should have been one more map transition in there that may, or my memory just might be fuzzy. I don't know. Someone who's watching can correct me on that. Let's see. But we're going to go ahead and turn in this mission. The Davidians are very much a mystery to us. Every encounter we have had with them is treacherous. I fear that they will be a problem for the Federation for some time. I'm unsure if this has been changed as well. Is this the same as it used to be? Anybody who's watching, let me know. But we got a bunch of Chronoton stuff. I'm going to pick a torpedo launcher because I fully intend to sell it. And while I'm at it, I'll collect the reward for this as well. Bam. And that was Ghost Ship. Not the best mission in the game, but certainly not the worst. It just gets kind of tedious with the map transitions. And that's really its only problem. So next time we're going to be playing Friend of My Enemy. Let's see, what does it say? Offer a hand of friendship to a Romulan colony in dire need of assistance. And after Friend of My Enemy, we're going to be doing Taurus, Trapped, and Sharian Swords. Taurus is kind of the Wham episode of the Romulan arc. But Taurus is really where the Romulan storyline begins in earnest, and it's so late in the Romulan story arc of this game. That's kind of a shame. Like up until this point, the Romulan arc has literally been random stuff in Romulan space. You know, there have been some things that have had something to do with previous Romulan missions, but overall, there is no real concrete story arc until just before Cloaked Intentions. All of the Klingon missions, all of them had something tying them together. They all had something to do with each other, so it felt like this developing story, you taking on Bavat and his followers, This, it's literally just random stuff. And then we're going to hit Sharian Swords, which is the end of the original Romulan storyline in this game. And then we'll be hitting the Vault, Mine Enemy Frozen, Coliseum, and Cutting the Cord, which is the Riemann featured episode series. We will not be doing Darkness Before the Dawn, but I will explain it once we get to it. This is like heading out, literally just a mission where they go, okay, hi, I remember you. Oh, this happened? Oh, cool. That's basically Darkness Before the Dawn, but I'll talk about that more later. For now, that was Ghost Ship. Next time we're going to be doing Friend of My Enemy. And this has been Star Trek Online, Rise of the Red Shirt, and I will see you guys later. So, later!